artificial intelligence in the context of data spaces and data ecosystems after lunch. What actually the most astounding fact was InferIA. Is there any particular way why you did not include AI? Maybe you can explain a little bit. I welcome Jose to the stage. Please introduce yourself. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm Jose Norberto Mazón. I'm a co-founder of InferIA. InferIA is a spin-off of the University of Alicante. I am also a professor there in the University of Alicante. I have been working, researching in data discovery, in data management, open data, artificial intelligence from years. And then we decided to create this spin-off to transfer all the research results into the industry. And we thought from the beginning that data space ecosystem fit perfectly with our research. So this is the team. So we are around here. If you have some question, whatever, we will be very happy to talk to all of you. And then the point here is that in our research, we focus on the data discovery challenge. Why this data discovery is a challenge? Because I always like to start by looking at data science pipeline, data science process, or whatever. This is one of the many you can find. This is from Microsoft, but there's many. And also, I would like to start with a joke. A joke in the data science. Sure, you may know that is that in data science, 80% of time is used for data preparation, data searching and preparation, integration, and so on. And then the 20% of the remainder time is for complaining about how hard was preparing the data. So at the end, when we do this data analysis, no? So it's a joke that in order to focus on one important part that we do is in the data preparation and data searching before starting all the process. Even there are some interesting reports from the industry. This is one from Leaf that state that 25% of the effort is devoted to data search. And also in the research area, we have this. From time to time, there is a report that the top research in databases have a meeting and discuss about the relevant challenges in the database community. Look at that. The first one is the one from 3 years ago, and they state from the very beginning that finding relevant data for a given task is a challenge. But look at that. The scenario they managed was data lakes. What happened this year? This is the last report. It's called Cambridge Report. You can find it's recently published. And they are people from many universities around the world, from Google, from Meta, the big companies. And they state from the very beginning the data sharing scenario. And they state that this is a challenge that data sharing also demands novel methods to enable data discovery at the dataset level. They talk a lot about data sharing, but they focus on this. And this is the work we do in the researching, actually. A novel method to data discovery, and we want to apply this to data spaces. Our point is this. We have an approach for extending the data catalog of a data ecosystem, like a data space, by providing new metadata. At this point, if you know DCAT focus on one kind of metadata, the dataset level metadata, the scripted data like the title, the author, the structural data like the organization, or administrative data like the licensing and so on. But this one kind of metadata that is missing, and this important one for data discovery, that is the so-called content level metadata. If you notice, I put several citations in my presentation because it is, We are not discovering new things here. It's also citing research works previously done. And we focus on extending DCAT with this kind of content level. What means content level for us is, for example, the file names, description of the fields in the data sets, or even sample values. But the point here is that we have a problem with that in the data space scenario. And it's a problem related to the arrow information paradox. That, I mean, if you, once you share the data value is transferred to the recipient. So it's kind of paradox exposing the content level metadata in that space. Because the content should be, before using the content, you have to do all the contract process and so on. So we are working on trying to avoid this problem. And this is one of the focus of InferIA, our discovery engine, in which we provide search capabilities based only on data samples, not exposed. Okay, yeah, now. Not exposing all the data, but snippets of the data, samples of the data. Which samples? This is one of the research we are doing, deciding which is the best sampling for data discovery. And also, and this is also very interesting, driving by intention of the users. Data discovery is not, for us, is not, it shouldn't be based on keywords, but on intention of the users, okay? And also trying to do the process in structure and structurable data according to some data models. Is our web page, and I'm going to introduce to you more or less this is from our research. More or less, the things we do is a high level snapshot. But later on we can discuss about that. We base our process, our data discovery process, in artificial intelligence, actually in word embeddings, actually from an input tabular, and we focus, at this point, we focus on tabular data, okay? We are starting with other kind of data, but at this point, on the research we have done until now is focused on tabular data. So we have an input tabular data, and then we have a repository with all the data. Then we calculate the word embeddings of the tables by doing some approach. I mean, we vectorize the data, and then try to determine the operation we can do with the data, with the input data, together with some of the data from the repository to find the relevant data according to some operations, like join and union. Then we extract, we get data sets that are unionable or unable. These are the relevant data sets according to the input of the user, okay? And then we also use this in the data search process, not only for the data discovery, but also for trying to get the most similar data tables according to one input, okay? So, and we are doing this in several scenarios. Several scenarios that we map with the European Common Data Spaces. We have one first scenario that is our core engine, that is the InferIA Data Explorer, that is multi-sectoral, really. Then we have a couple of services. That one is from public administration data, and other regarding or related to the skills database, because it's a data explorer based on university, data from the university, okay? So the first one I put there, I think it is, you can see that, because I would like to encourage you to go into the demo. This is a demo, a totally functional demo. Go to the demo, try to play with the our discovery engine, and from this, we, as a MVP, we are using the
open data from the national open data portal, Spanish national open data portal. We're preparing really in a couple of months, hopefully, we are preparing the same engine, but from the data from the European open data portal. Okay, but it's other level of. So we hope in a couple of months having this. So what's the important thing here is that we have you can input a user intention. For example, I want to do an analysis. I want to analyze the best places to put solar panels, and then you get different actions related to the data you need for doing this analysis. For example, identify the best areas with more solar radiation, and with the data you can use, the cost of the electricity, also data about the local energy demand, and so on, okay? So, and it's very interesting because if you are using artificial intelligence, multilingual. So at the end, it's very nice. I mean, this is the use case we want to show with our approach on the European Open Data Portal, because it's multilingual. I mean, you can look in German and you got the results from the Spanish national portal, and you can understand it perfectly. So I think it's very powerful. So also we have, and this is the link, a pilot from data from the University of Alicante. Remember, we are a spin-off from the University of Alicante, so we try to do things with them. And this is quite similar. You can input a intention there, and then you can get, even here, you can get even some charts. I mean, it's more, because the kind of user is different, so we can even get already analyzed by means of a chart or a small report, etc. And finally, this is the product we are taking the most care to, because we think it's very important. We detect that is a very interesting area, that is the procurement data search of tenders and so on. This is related, I think, with the procurement data space. And it is called Licitin. You have there the link. And the point here is that as a company, you are going to easily search for the best opportunities, best tenders opportunities that fit with your intention and with an enriched set of results and data. So actually, in a couple, if I don't make a mistake, in a couple of weeks, we will have the next version of that. So please stay tuned. And we can give you more details. My partners, Olympia and Alberto, are there. They can give more details about that. So, and the last one, it's not, I mean, because it is not a service you can do. It is like a consultancy work that we also do in the tourism domain. This is very interesting here, because the point here is that we don't have tabular data. It's our starting point to consider not structured data, but data enclosed in other kind of formats, PDF, etc. These kind of documents are very, very common in the tourism domain. And here we apply, together with a consulting company, Fusion Consulting, and we made a couple of use cases from the Smart Tourist platform from the tourism, the Segitur, tourism in Spain. And then we try, I mean, they define some kind of model of indicators. And the point is that, okay, you define the best indicators for analyzing some stuff, some problem, whatever. But you have to calculate the indicators. And most of these indicators recreate data that are not directly used. They are not fair data. So we apply our approach to also to, with a pre-processing, also to extract the data from documents, PDFs, even webs, etc. In order to, at the end, we define this is the real snapshot of the dashboard that we define with this data. You have also the two links with all the documentation. not only the part we do, but also the part that CN Consulting do with the impact model with indicators and so on. So thank you very much. As I said before, we are very happy to talk to you during this event. This is my partner. We are around here. Thank you.